Hello everyone, welcome to AKS IAS main Shikshna free initiative. This is Santosh Koka. Today we will discuss one important question. Before that, we will check small information. APPSC Group 2 English medium classes have been started. Our services including digital classrooms, time-bound completion of syllabus, state-level test series, updated study material and monthly current affairs magazine. For more information, you can call these numbers. So let's check today's 5 questions basic structure. So examine the role of the cabinet secretariat in governance at the union level. How does it facilitate interministerial coordination? Discuss the significance of the prime minister's office in governance. Here examine is very important question tag. Here we need to focus on providing important facts, examples, etc. Right? So the role is important keyword here. Role of the cabinet secretariat in governance at the union level. Just we need to write focus on significance. No need to write any negative points, right? So how does it facilitate interministerial coordination? So next, how does it facilitate interministerial coordination? We need to focus on these particular keywords. Next, discuss the significance of the prime minister's office in governance. Here discuss means we need to provide positives and negatives. Significance means we need to give some positives here, right? Then we need to give some limitations or some challenges here, right? Then we need to conclude with a needed measures, right? Simple structure for this question. Next, evaluate the effectiveness of the National Human Rights Commission in India. This question is very important. That's why we are taking this particular question in detail. So what are the major components of poverty alleviation programs in India? Discuss the role of SHGs in women's empowerment and poverty alleviation. Here, first important question tag is what? Next is discuss, right? What are the major components of poverty alleviation programs? Simply we can write whatever we have poverty alleviation programs in India, we can write here, right? Next, discuss the role of SHGs in women's empowerment and poverty alleviation, right? So here role means here we can write as per our discuss question tag, we need to focus on writing positives and negatives. Means here role is particularly positive, right? Next we need to include some negative challenges, that is negative points, that is challenges here, right? So plus in conclusion itself we can write some measures. Simple, right? So next important thing is discuss the challenges faced by the district collector in governance. How does the collector balance administrative and political pressures? Evaluate the role of the collector in disaster management. So you could discuss here. Discuss is very important question tag. Here we need to focus on providing positives and negatives. But here question itself they have asked for challenges, means negatives. Before that we need to start some importance, means district collector roles or some functions we can write here, right? So adding point. Next, how does the collector balance administrative and political pressures here, right? That need to be connected in the second part. Next, evaluate the role of the collector in disaster management. Evaluate means not providing only positives and negatives every time, right? Role for the role we need to focus on providing some facts and examples with including reports, etc. Right? Next, final question, what are the challenges of public private partnerships in governance? How can PPPs be effectively utilized for infrastructure and development? Discuss recent successful examples of PPP in Telangana, right? We need to careful and important keywords like this, right? So in the overlook we can remove this particular we can remember or we can avoid this particular keywords, right? Next, what are the challenges? Challenges means here we need to provide public private partnerships in governance, right? We need to focus on providing some negatives here, just asked by what question tag. Next, how means general question tag. How can PPPs be effectively utilized for infrastructure development? So discuss means here we need to write some positives and negatives. Recent successful examples of PPP in Telangana especially, right? So here so many keywords are there, so many parts are there in the question, so that's why we can manage here time writing positives and negatives. Successful examples means we need to focus on providing some successful, even though we can write some challenges and measures in the conclusion itself, right? That is the major criteria here. Let's take today's question, that is question for 9th October 2024, paper 3, section 3, governance. Evaluate the effectiveness of the National Human Rights Commission in India. What challenges does it face in protecting human rights? Discuss recent cases handled by the NHRC that illustrate its role. Here, before writing answer, we need to start our 3-step strategy. Very important to gain so many marks as comparing to others, right? That is the main important of this particular strategy. Here, within 1 minute, we need to identify different question tags and keywords. What is the topic here? National Human Rights Commission in India. Already we have discussed National Women Commission, right? Likewise, we need to focus on this body also, right? So here, very important topic, and also here 3 parts are there, right? Effectiveness and challenges, and finally recent cases. Simple, right? Focus on the question tags here. Evaluate and what and discuss. Here, evaluate means need to provide effectiveness. Effectiveness means positive effectiveness or negative. We can write both, but here challenges itself given in the question in the second part. No need to write here negative effectiveness, right? So evaluate means we need to focus on providing some facts, examples, right, reports, etc. That is the main focus on this. Next, coming to our second part here, so need to carefully focus on the keywords especially, right? So what challenges? First thing is effectiveness, right? Next thing is challenges, and also recent cases handled by NHRC. That is very important. We can create a structure here by following our important question tags and keywords here. First important thing is effectiveness, that we can write only positives here. Next, challenges. Next, we have recent cases, right? Here we can give some challenges or negative points or something. Otherwise, we can end with some needed matches. No need to write challenges. Already here we already focusing on providing challenges in the second part, right? So no need to provide challenges. Finally, in the conclusion itself, we can include needed matches, right? This is the perfect structure. So important keywords related to the topic, very important step, that is brainstorming. Within 1 minute we need to recall here whatever we have some acts, right? Whatever we have some acts, for example, we have Protection of Human Rights Act, right? From where it was enacted, right? Very important. So otherwise we have some important issues or examples. Muzaffarnagar riots 2003, or we have Hathras case 2020, or we have so many important particular NHRC's report also we can include here, NHRC's report, right? So otherwise we have so many examples, for example Delhi riots, or recent important cases whatever we have in each and every state, or particularly for example West Bengal, or we have farm acts, farm laws, right? So we can write these type of examples here and there, right? That is the main important criteria here. Next, coming to introduction part. Here we can add our CA introduction, current affairs introduction, because here we need to focus on gaining some particular impression from our examiner, right? So recently we have seen India witnessed multiple instances of human rights violations, right? We can start with it. For example, we can start with West Bengal incident, whatever we have, right? Doctor incident, or we have some forced evictions or custodial deaths in the particular India, right? So we can add this. Whenever an incident was occurred that leads to violation of human rights, immediately National Human Rights Commission will be focused on that particular issue, right? That is the main issue, right? Otherwise, we can, in the next part, we can add background. Background means what can we include here? For example, we can include some when it was established, right? We have PHRC 1993, plus we can add some amendments also here, right? Till recently 2020 we can add these particular amendments, right? Otherwise we can add some aim also. What is aim? What is aim of the basic particular this scheme? Aimed at promoting and protecting human rights in India. That is the main aim. Otherwise, we can draw some flowchart including this particular Human Rights Commission members composition, right? We can add these type of issues here, right? So very simple. To start with current affairs introduction or background, we need to focus on providing the content in a flow or continuity here, right? So next, coming to positive body part here, right? That is effectiveness. First thing is effectiveness, we need to focus on providing here, right? So here first important thing is it can handle by quick interventions in rights violations, right? Quick interventions we have seen, right? Quick interventions that is played a significant role in addressing large scale violations. For example, we have Muzaffarnagar riots in 2013, right? So we can add recent cases, or otherwise we can add previous cases. But in the current affairs introduction, or already mentioned in the particular recent cases handled by the NHRC in the third part, we need to focus on only providing recent cases, right? So for example, we have Hathras case here, right? 2020, we can add it. So otherwise we have public promotion of awareness, that is also very important. It is promoting regarding our whatever we have of NHRC, right, as conducting awareness campaigns for and training programs for law enforcement agencies and civil society. That is also very important. For example, according to NHRC's 2022 report, annual report, over 600 awareness programs were conducted nationwide. That is very focusing on marginal communities, right? So this is very important. Otherwise, we have third important positive effectiveness is monitoring governmental and institutional compliance also. Governmental and institutional compliances, that is also very important here, because NHRC monitoring the state of human rights and in the country, and also sends recommendations to the government to reform policies. Whenever it is doing some violation of the particular human rights, it will give some recommendations to the government, right? For example, in 2023, NHRC submitted a report on prison conditions. It is very important. Prison conditions also, okay, which led to reforms in prison management in states like Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra, right? So that is very important here. Other than that, next important part is challenges. We need to focus on providing some challenges facing by this NHRC protecting human rights, right? Very important. Here we have limited powers, right? Limited enforcement powers, because it is non-binding body, right? NHRC can only make recommendations here. That is very important case. For example, in Delhi 2020 riots case, NHRC's recommendations on police accountability have not yet to be fully implemented. That is very important case, right? Next, we have understaffed issues, understaffed and underfunded. That is also very important. Right here, NHRC suffers from insufficient staffing and financial resources, which is hindering its functioning. For example, 2021 Parliamentary Standing Committee, whatever we have report, it criticized the NHRC's inadequate budgetary allocations, noting that only 65% of the sanctioned staff strength was filled here. Right? So we need to focus on these type of issues and the needed measures. Next, delayed redressal. Delayed redressal also very important here. Delay in handling cases and slow investigation process reducing the impact of NHRC's actions. Especially, for example, we can take here 2017 Gorakhpur hospital strategy. That is very important, right? It was delayed by over 2 years even after NHRC's intervention. That is need to be focused on, right? So next we have some important cases, recent cases handled by the NHRC that illustrate its role. Very, very important here. So recent cases means we can add, recently we have West Bengal case, right? Otherwise we can have Manipur ethnic violence, right? That is also very important, right? 2023, it took cognizance of the ethnic clashes in Manipur, sending teams to investigate and issuing directives to ensure relief and rehabilitation. Also, very important role played by NHRC here. So, helped mitigate violence in certain regions, led to relief measures for displaced people. Right. Next, we have custodial deaths. Custodial deaths in Uttar Pradesh, especially UP in 2022. Right. So it intervened in multiple custodial death cases in Uttar Pradesh. That is also very important. So compensation to the victims' families and stricter police accountability also recommended by NHRC here, right? So it reformed. This lead to reforms in state police training on human rights also. That is the effectiveness of this particular body, right? Next we have death of migrant workers during COVID-19 also we can include here, because NHRC sought reports from state governments regarding the plight of migrant workers during the lockdown, especially for example like states like Bihar, and also we have Uttar Pradesh implemented compensation schemes and improved migrant welfare facilities because of NHRC, right? So this is the very important particular recent examples or recent cases handled by NHRC, right? So finally, in the conclusion part, we can connect our 1 to 1.5 futuristic line. If strengthened, if we follow above measures, or if we follow some measures, means we can add some financial, increasing financial and human resources, ensuring great independence from political influence will be essential here. So strengthening the NHRC by following all these will contribute significantly to India's efforts in upholding human rights and ensuring justice for the vulnerable sections of the society. We need to connect this part. Particularly, we can add for Viksit Bharat here, right? Because of we have target, right? So this is the perfect approach to the question. Let's take to tomorrow's question, that is day 92 question for 10th October 2024, that is paper 1 general essay section 2 dynamics of Indian politics, historical and cultural heritage of India. 6 most expected essays were given here. Please check it. From this I will provide one essay to write. The role of regional political parties in India's democratic system, corruption in Indian politics, role of judiciary, and also Mahatma Gandhi's legacy, and also Sardar Patel's vision of national integration, finally cultural diversity and its political structure. These 6 essays are very important. Already we have covered so many essays previously, right? So let's write your answer and upload in the AKS app. Thank you very much. All the very best.